Hello, welcome back. Hey, lovely ones. Hey, dear friends. Welcome back to our channel and to those solo videos of mine. I hope the light is not gonna play jokes with me. Yeah, I'm just trying to find a good spot. As you may notice from the title in today's video, I'm intending to expand a little bit more of this so-called shadow work, shadow material, shadow play. And in one of my latest, it was a short video, I was just touch something about that. But this video is actually dedicated of that. And it's going to be probably a few parts, because to speak about shadow in a short video, it's not something that can help, I guess. So my intention in today's video is to share what is the experience here, what I found, what I'm constantly also meeting when I'm with someone, and how this reflects in my experience. So let's start first by putting a light or spreading a light on what is this shadowy thing all about. Yeah. When we start walking on this path, on this journey of awakening, very often there is this hidden expectation that one, the veil drops, one, there is this realization that this is only life happening and no one in life, but rather only life happening as this, as the tree, as every living being, as everything, basically. So when this veil drops, usually there is an expectation that this is it. And in a way, this is it, and it isn't. This is just the first step. This is the beginning. This is the gate opens up, or the gateless gate is being crossed, or the box of Pandora opens up. And what follows after the initial shift is a real deal, so to speak. So many of us just stay there after the first initial shift, and that's completely fine. But inevitably, shadow or suppressed material, suppressed stuff need to come. They have to come. They will come. They must. It's again, it's inevitable. And this shadow material is nothing else but energy, different layers of energy that is being stuck there in the system, in the beingness. And this energy come up with one reason only, to be released. There isn't any other reason for that. It's a good thing. But our mind very often has a tendency or agenda how things should be. And when a shadow material come up, there is like, oh my goodness, I thought I'm awakened and now all this stuff is coming out of nowhere. Yeah, this has to come again. So if you notice some intense emotions, notice some old patterns that are coming full force, some things really from your childhood as well, some fears, some desires also, some behaviors. And you wonder what's going on. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. In a way, we just have to be there for those. Shadow work means to have a willingness, a space, a capacity to stay with those. And capacity, willingness, and yeah, they develop, like, this is a developing process. The more we stay, the more capacity there is. And the shadow material will come up until it is fully met, fully felt, acknowledged, embraced as a part of wholeness. It's not coming from somewhere else. It's what it's always been here, just suppressed, pushed away. So let's put it like that. When this expression came into the world, or came as inseparable part of this aliveness, just the expression of that, there was like only that wholeness, that experience, that raw experiencing of reality as it is. And then, depending on the conditioning, we eventually were being put in, like the environment, our parents, society, teachers, authority figures, so to speak. Depending on that, inevitably the beingness start contracting or finding its way to survive, to cope. So we receive like messages, or even sometimes these messages, these are not spoken, but unspoken direct directives, like this is not good. You shouldn't be like that. You have to be like that. And then we start questioning the beingness, the aliveness, the freedom here, and eventually we start contracting and pushing some stuff deep down, abandoning ourselves, so to speak, abandoning parts of ourselves for some reason we thought are unlovable, inappropriate, bad, wrong, not good enough. And this is how we create, we separate ourselves, we separate the beingness that we are, and creates a shadow, unconscious part, and a conscious, so to speak, that we are aware of, like the part that is being brought up here in the world, playing as a good one. From the beginning, this is always like all, from the beginning, this is wholeness, just playing as two different parts, or many different parts, we could say. And first is the, like, realizing that, oh my goodness, this is also part of what I am. This is part of wholeness, inseparable. a lot of things may come, guys. I myself experience a lot of intense emotions. Emotions that I thought even not, they're not existing. Fears, all kinds of different fears. And here you can say, but who is there to feel that? Yeah, there is no one there. And those feelings, those things arise. They arise with one reason only, to be felt, to be acknowledged. And the shadow work, the so-called shadow work, is nothing but staying with that, willing to be with that, willing to admit that this is also me. That's my part. That's not coming from somewhere else. It's from my unconscious arising here. Say, hey, I'm also here. So the so-called shadow work after post-awakening means to be willing to sit with those, sometimes very intense. And when we are alone, when we are by ourselves, I won't say anything new, but it's hard. It's difficult. It's difficult for me. I'm blessed. I feel like I'm blessed, and I can sit with Lubo almost every day. We can sit like that, just supporting each other in that. And it's easier. Sometimes I reach out and sit with someone else. It's good to have space. It's easier when there is someone that is holding a mirror or just being there. And the attention is really, really on point. And you start realizing things even without knowing, but there is like, oh, I didn't know that was playing. I didn't know that was playing. And that's the thing. That's the whole thing about shadow work. Just realizing some stuff, bringing them into the light in here. Hello. So don't be afraid. Don't be scary. Like do not despair. Do not give up. When you notice that after the so-called first shift or realization or whatever words we may use for that, when there is like a huge opening in your consciousness, when things start coming up, I mean intense things, intense emotions, intense fears, weird desires, I'm saying weird even though they are not, but for the mind they seem weird. Actually, that's a good thing. When this starts coming up, that means that there is nothing to hold this down. That's a good thing. It's something like, I cannot pretend that this is not here anymore. While before, when there was like this strong belief that I am someone, this belief in I am separate self, I am something here. When this belief is at place, no chance for the shadow work, the shadow material to come up. No chance, because this pushed that like down. But when this belief is not there anymore, imagine yeah, I can share, I can just make this comparison that is for me, it's like the box of Pandora box. It's like you want this light and fluffy and pink and cloudy and sunny and joyful and lovely. Oh, I don't know what kind of words to use, awakening. And it is in a way like that. The mind wants that, actually. It's like happy ever after. And then it comes like full force. Darkness. Darkness that wants to be seen, acknowledged, felt, embraced, and welcomed here. Darkness is not scary, it's a good thing. Shadow is not wrong, it's not bad, it's not ugly. And nothing stays forever, and nothing is fixed or permanent. This is also moving, everything is moving, everything is like there is like constant unfolding, and new things arise until who knows, until the end. Well, what kind of end, I don't know, but yeah. There are periods in which there isn't anything coming up, and there are periods in which a lot is coming up. Just don't be afraid. Do you know how much things seem different when we say like, wow, what is this here? Sometimes it's hard to say, to be surprised at this shadow material that is coming. But just like, wow, wow, what is this? And to be curious, what is this about? Yeah. Sometimes we may feel tired of that. Yeah, I often hear that, and I sometimes before, like I was experiencing this, like, how long? For how long? How come that this is coming again? Yeah, eventually it will stop coming. It will stop arising when the time feels right, when there isn't like a resistance to that. And even the resistance is really, really something that we can embrace, like, oh, there is this coming up here, and there is a resistance to that. And that's already a seeing, a noticing that there is something coming and there is a resistance to that. And when we notice both this that is coming, whatever that is, like intense feeling or fear or something, or desire, and then there is resistance, when we notice both, that's already realizing something. It's important when shadow material come up to be aware of the tendency of the mind to explain, to make story, to find someone guilty, to try to make things better, which is fine. Just to notice that tendency and to direct the attention towards the feelings, towards the experience. In the experience, there is nothing wrong. We can feel everything. There is nothing that we can't feel, basically. We are not broken when intense stuff come up after awakening. We didn't have wrong awakening. It's just the way it is. This energy keep coming for one reason, to come back to its naturality, to the wholeness from where it came, from where for a while, 20, 30, 40 years, it was stuck. This is how we become whole again, not by pushing those away, but embracing those, admitting like, oh, this is also part of me. This is also me. Realizing that in one's own experience is shifting something on the collective level. Realizing that I am not a victim. Maybe this is the biggest shadow on the collective level. Realizing I am not a victim on a personal level is shifting something on the collective. No one is a victim here. No one. Maybe in the second part we can expand on the collective shadow, but the most important is not the collective. The collective, there is a place for that. The most important is to look here. And from here, we can change, we can influence the collective. We are not separate from the collective. This is how the change is happening. Yeah, from experience, like the recent days, we came back for a while to visit we came back to Bulgaria to visit, to stay for a while here, to visit, to see our parents and everyone around. And I can tell you that there was a feeling here that I'm this little girl that is very innocent, very fragile, very gentle. And the feeling was like the same, exactly the same as far as I remember, that I'm this little girl and I'm just wondering, what the heck am I doing here? Besides all the love and connection I have with my family. And that's shadow. That's shadow material, inviting me to take a look at something. And it was intense, with tears and with just, you could say grieving even. There was like a grief, like, and then the energy was released. It releases itself by just sitting with that. Yeah, the more we sit, the more capacity grows. Yeah, you can share how it is for you. What do you notice? What kind of expectation you can spot about the post-awakening shadow work or the post-awakening process? How is it for you? And there isn't a wrong way. There is your way. This is the only right way, your way. Yeah, in a way, life is always inviting us, teaching us. And if the energy is being pushed away, it will find a way to come up again from a different way, from a different angle. I think the light here start playing light shadow, you see. Yeah, guys. If you feel like you want to sit and look something more closely, I'm here. We can look at that together. Yeah, there will be a second part, I guess. Leaving you now. Much love. And see you soon.